This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
One of the best smiles you've ever seen in an Arkansas basketball uniform. Jalen Williams, Northside Grizzly, Arkansas Razorback, and now a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Jaylin, thank you so much for making some time for us this morning. Take us back to your special night 1 year ago today and kind of the emotions you were going through.
Yeah, it was a super emotional thing. I wanted to have it in my hometown and have it at Northside because that's where I came up playing through. My brothers, my sister, my dad, they went to high school there. My uncles, my aunts, they all went to high school there. And then I went there, and knowing that a lot of my family was going to be able to be there with me, it was something that I didn't want to miss. And it was something that I've worked for my whole life. And everybody that was there, they've seen me play basketball from the Boys and Girls Clubs at Stevens and Jeffries all the way up to where I am now. So just being able to share that memory and that experience with all of them was a very emotional and great feeling.
Jaylin, what advice did Mike, your dad, Linda, your mom, your stepdad, Jeff, what did they give you heading into year one?
My dad just always told me just to keep believing in myself. He knows who I am as a player, and he knows how I am on and off the court, and he always just told me to believe in myself. And he knows how competitive I am. At the beginning of the year, I wasn't getting a lot of run with the main team, with the Thunder, but I was still going down there and playing with the Blue. And he was telling me, go down there and play it like it's just a regular game. Just go down there and do my thing. And he told me to stay ready because he knew that when my time came, he knew I was going to be ready for it.
Jaylin, this is Tommy. Glad you're off to a great start in your NBA career. As we watch the GLeague develop and we see players that might be a one-and-done player start to choose the GLeague route, what do you think the future is there? Will more players that are in that five-star, that top 10 or 15 range, will they go more that route, or do you think college is still on the table in today's game? Forecast that for us from now seeing it from both sides.
I definitely think college is still on the table, definitely with NIL. A lot of players were doing that for the money-wise and getting closer to the money, but with NIL on the table, I feel like a lot of guys it's a harder decision, and especially for the position that I was in, like, I would much rather go to college and experience Bud Walton for 2 years, one of the loudest gyms I've ever played in, and the experience you get being a college athlete. I feel like a lot of guys don't want to miss that, and that was two of the best years of my life.
Now that you've went through the cycle and you've kind of worked through the calendar, what's the biggest difference you've discovered in being a pro, doing this all day, every day, and your life as a college player? What biggest differences you've seen so far?
Just really everything's about basketball on a pro level. Like, we work out in the mornings, we get done, I go home, and I might be at home chilling, but I'll have some type of boots on my legs, get my legs replenished for the next day, or I'll go home and just things like that. After practice, I'll get in a hot cold tub, just whatever it is. Everything's about being a pro up here. You eat better, you have the resources to be the best basketball player you can be, and not that you don't in college, but you also have to worry about being a student and going to classes and things like that.
Jaylin, I wonder, with Oklahoma City being as close to Fort Smith, less than 3 hours, was that a luxury for you in your first year, being as close as proximity as you were to home?
Yes, it was great. Having my family down there all the time. With home games in the NBA, you have a couple of them in a row or a couple of them in a good stretch, and my dad would just come down there and he would stay at my house with me for like a week and a half, 2 weeks at a time, and just being able to see my family at home games. My brothers would drive down just for one game and drive back after. My mom would do the same, and just being able to see them at every home game and being able to see them on holidays and things like that was great.
You kind of got a piece of home there with you, with Isaiah. I mean, I think about the run y'all had where you went state champion, state runner-up, state champion again. It's crazy that two guys from the same high school are now playing for the same professional team. How unique was that to be playing with Isaiah again?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to be able to play with Zay, and our chemistry on the court is just getting better and better. And I talk about it with him all the time about how good we could have been at Northside if we were able to play how we were now and do the things we were able to do now. And if anything gets taken out of this, of us being on the same team, I hope it is for the kids that are back in Arkansas or more directly in Fort Smith that you can do anything you put your mind to. And for those kids to look up at us and being two homegrown players that went through Northside and went through the Boys and Girls Clubs and went to Arkansas, I hope they think that they can do the same things that we're doing.
I remember us commenting on that night where you played Golden State and there was you and Isaiah and Moses all on the floor at the same time, and we were trying to recall how many times there's been games where 3 Razorbacks have been on the rosters, but 3 on the floor at the same time. What do you recall from that moment, and was pleasantries exchanged? Take us inside that moment earlier this regular season.
Yeah, it was a great moment, and of course, just like the same thing, like it's good to show Arkansas kids that they can do what we're doing, and it gives them a dream or something they can chase. And sharing that moment with Moses, me and Moses played against each other when we were very young in AAU, and we communicated before, or we played against each other in high school, and communicated with each other about going to Arkansas together to start that run, and wanted to become better at Arkansas, and seeing it pan out for him in his first year, then me getting there my second year, and us all being on the court together. It's a great thing.
Jalen Williams with us here on the Morning Rush, talking about the draft from last night. Jaylin, you're known for defense. You're known for taking charges. I don't know if you've kept up with the college game and the rule changes, but they're going to change the rules next year on taking charges and make it more difficult. Well, some are calling it that, the Jalen Williams rule. Have you read any on this? And it's going to be tougher for defenders to not get called for that block. What are your thoughts on kind of the new way they're going with defending the post and defending the basket?
Yeah, I get tagged and stuff about charges and how I messed up the game in college all the time, and I just look at it and I laugh, and it's funny to me. But I think, it doesn't affect me anymore, so I really don't got no outlook on it. But I think it's funny.
Tommy,
as a referee, I think it's going to make things a little bit easier as someone who officiates basketball. But what is the secret to it? Is it your footwork? Is it picking up the offensive player? What makes you so good at taking charges?
I think it's just being able to read the game. I feel like from a young age, me and my dad just always watched film and watched clips over and over, and I feel like it helped me be able to read the game and knowing guys' tendencies, if they're strong right drivers or if they're going to shoot a floater or how they are, and then reading the defender that's on the ball. If they're guarding them on the inside and they're driving with their right hand, then they can't cut back inside. They're only going to be able to go one way. So just being able to read the game and look at it certain ways and knowing the defense, knowing the offense, knowing tendencies, that's what really helped me.
Jaylin, you talked about kind of your playing time in year one. You had 36 starts, 49 games you played, split time between the OKC Blue at one point, and Tommy's talking about the charges. You led the league in charges as a rookie. What are you working on your game right now?
Really, I just want to continue to work on my body and get in better shape. I'm a bigger guy, stronger guy, and I want to continue to get stronger. I want to continue to get quicker, more explosive, get my body better. I want to become a better shooter. I want to become a better dribbler. Really everything, honestly, but focusing on my body is the main part for me right now.
Tommy brought up Moses Moody, and I think about 2 years ago when you were a freshman along with Devo, KK, and him, and just kind of the one-and-done process where he's the first lottery pick in Arkansas history. What did you notice about him, particularly in games and practices, that maybe led you to believe this guy's going pro after this year?
Yeah, I think from the beginning we all knew that he was going pro. Our first couple of days at practices, he was hitting three-pointers, getting put-back dunks, driving down the lane, dunking on our other teammates, and just doing things like that. And from that get-go, we kind of knew Moses was this great player, and we knew who he was before he got there. And just him coming in and doing that against a higher-level opponents, it just showed that he's ready for the next level.
Summer League will be coming up soon in Vegas and Orlando. Talk about that process and what that means to the development of a rookie player coming in, and what are your plans for the rest of the summer?
Summer League is really just your first taste of the NBA basketball. Playing in front of the crowds, the lights, the arenas, against other NBA players, against other guys that are in the NBA. So it's a fun experience, honestly, and I'm not sure yet, honestly, what my summer is looking like.
Why do you think that's become so popular? I mean, we look at the TV numbers and the ratings and how many people watch it, and you watch the games on ESPN or NBA TV, and you see so many people in the stands. Why has it become so popular for games that ultimately, don't count for anything?
I think that it's a lot of guys first look at NBA players. It's raw talent. Going into the summer league, you only get like a week, maybe, if that, with the team, with the other players that are on the team before you go out there and play using some of the professional teams' plays. And it's really just a raw look at the players in the NBA system before really anything gets taught.
You excited about the prospect of playing some Hogs, guys that just came out and got drafted last night?
Yeah, it's awesome for them. I'm happy to see those guys succeed, and all of them in an NBA draft. Just being able to see those guys succeed and have the year they did at Arkansas and go to the draft, I know that their families super proud of them, and I'm proud of them as well.
Jaylin, you came back for a game. You also watched the game every chance you got. What did you notice about Nick, AB, Jordan, and Ricky?
Yeah, I watched pretty much every game that I could catch on TV, and I went back to one game as well. And really, I can run down the line on every player. I think Anthony Black is a great player. He's 6'8", 6'9", point guard. He can handle the rock. He has great court vision. He's athletic, and he's a great point guard. You got Nick. He's a great scorer. He brings intensity to the game. If he turns up and he wants to play defense, he can lock down pretty much anybody on the other side of the ball. Then you got Jordan, which he's a taller guy. He has a long wingspan. He's athletic. He can play defense. He can do all those things, and he brings a lot of stuff to the team. And when that offense is rolling for him, he's a great player. Then you got Ricky that if he's on a fast break, you better be ready to get your phone out and record. And I think that he's one of the most athletic guys that I've seen. And when he's a super athletic guy, and when he gets rolling on that offensive side, he's a great player too.
Jaylin, you're a Fort Smith guy. I'm a Fort Smith guy. I know you've done a lot for the community. Isaiah's done a lot of things, too. One of the things you guys did earlier in the year was bust over a bunch of the teachers and a bunch of the educators from Fort Smith Northside to watch you guys play. Why was that important to you to kind of pay back, or where was the inspiration for that event that you and Isaiah put together for some of your high school teachers?
It was great seeing them there, and a lot of those teachers I've seen in the hallways. They've seen us when we were in high school. One of the teachers, Miss Dean, she was my PE teacher back in 5th and 6th grade, so I've known her for a while, and then she was my teacher at Northside. And just having them there just shows that the amount of love that Fort Smith gives out. And them being there, it was great. It was honestly, me and Zay are very thankful that they were able to come.
Jaylin, this has been awesome. Really appreciate you making some time for us this morning. Thanks for being an ambassador for the Fort Smith and Arkansas community. And one last thing, Thunder up.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.